What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to be talking about with you guys. For those of you who haven't heard about this by now, it is currently being reported that the Los Angeles Lakers are officially, yes, I said officially, discussing a deal which would acquire them Russell Westbrook in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, Dennis Schroeder, and Talen Horton-Tucker. And this is all being reported by Mark J. Spears, and they seem to be, the people that have been reporting this, like multiple different sources, have seemed to be very, very confident on this, especially Mark J. Spears. And everyone's like, of course, this is almost 100% happening. Look, this has been one of the biggest rumors in a while that I've seen people just not even think about it as a rumor and just go, hey, you know, this trade, it's no longer a rumor. This trade's happening. And look, to be honest, I don't really know. I'm not too sure if Russell Westbrook and LeBron would really go with each other too much. Like, I just don't know. Like, if I was the Lakers, getting rid of Dennis Schroeder for someone would be the biggest win you possibly can. Because let me tell you right now, every single person, you know, I've seen these experts, right? I'm gonna say it like that, experts say Dennis Schroeder's 100% return to the Lakers. In my opinion, he is, I don't see how people can say that. He is nowhere near going to be returned to the Lakers. This guy was active on the trade market last season when teams were tossing his name around, and he even said privately to OKC, where it ended up getting leaked by a journalist and was confirmed to be true later, that this guy did not want to go to LA. He made it quite clear that he likes playing for his small market teams, and that's why he liked it at OKC so much. When he got to LA, there were more than 50% of the games that he played where he looked like he did not want to be there and didn't try. There were even times, not just once, but twice, where this guy took Los Angeles Lakers out of his bio, right? He never wanted to be there. And in the playoffs, it was more evident. He was literally just like walking around out there. I guess LeBron was as well there. Like, there were times LeBron was just walking around, but I think that's just because LeBron was injured and he just kind of had enough at that point. Dennis Schroeder, he had no injuries. The dude was just chucking up random shots. He wasn't running the offense like he was running it at OKC when he was coming off the bench. This guy didn't want to be there. It was pretty clear. And now he's demanding $20 million per year off teams. And here's the thing. Teams will offer him that. And the reason why teams will offer him that is because they know he just didn't try on the Lakers. And that when he does try and gets back to his best, he can average you 18 and 19 points per game on a team. And that's the thing with the Lakers, though. People that are saying he's 100% coming back, I just can't fathom in my head how this is the case. Now, here's the thing. If you're a Wizards fan, right, and it looks like they're ready to blow it up, which makes a lot of sense. Look, it just didn't work out. They ended up, you know, firing their coach, who, even though he was a terrible coach, some players in the organization actually still liked him, which is kind of crazy to me to think about. So I guess that didn't sit well with some of the players. Here's the thing, right? If you're trading for Russell Westbrook, you're trading Russell Westbrook away, I think there's a chance you can get a lottery first back or something like that from a team. The issue is Westbrook's value isn't exactly that high right now. He's had a little bit of injury issues here and there, but the thing is, this dude's been averaging a triple-double right now for so long, and literally averaged a triple-double for the Wizards. And at times, he did play really good and managed to bring the Wizards back, but it was just like, Like, is this guy really as good as what he used to be? And, like, this was even more evident on the Houston Rockets when there was, like, a stat where at times the Rockets had a better plus-minus when Russell Westbrook wasn't on the floor in the playoffs versus when he was. I'm sure most of you Westbrook fans and Rockets fans who are watching this video remember his terrible playoffs that he had with the Rockets. Like, that was shocking. That seemed to be the downfall of Westbrook. But here's the thing. He is still a quality player. His contract is just very big and is going to be very hard to move. But in my opinion, if you're the Washington Wizards and you can bring back a young dude like Talen Horton-Tucker, who will finally get the free reins, I think, next season to do him, I think he could be one of those dudes that has a growth and averages like nearly 15 points per game or something next season. Again, Dennis Schroeder, he will be very serviceable for this Wizards team. He will average you, if it's literally just him and like Talen Horton-Tucker and a couple other players, this dude's bound to average like 20 points per game. He will be really good for the Wizards. And Kyle Kuzma, I think he'd also be pretty nice. I think people undervalue how good Kyle Kuzma can sometimes be. It's just unfortunately that the bad outweighs the good for him. And then if you make this trade for the Los Angeles Lakers, look, I don't think it's the best play to go out and get, but I don't mind it. They definitely need some more playmaking and another ball handler, you know, to help out LeBron. But I think that ball handler needs to be a really good defender. Look, Westbrook has, you know, he does have some good defense here and there, but there are times where it's not great, and he can be still a very nice scorer. But if you have, you know, Westbrook and LeBron, I still feel like you need to scale this team with shooters and, you know, bringing back KCP and bringing back a defensive-minded center. I think like JaVale McGee or someone in free agency would still be cool. But you need some more shooters, you know, to have one really good shooter in the starting lineup like KCP. But then go out and sign some shooters to maybe come off the bench here and there. Then I think you've got a really good team. But I do see a situation where this deal gets done, and I think it might. I just think you might have to add in a second or two to maybe make this happen, because the Wizards probably won't want to give him up for literally no picks. And then I think the Wizards will move on. They'll probably trade Bradley Beal as well, where, again, Bradley Beal you can get a lot out of. The Warriors are very interested. They have pick 7, 14, James Wiseman, Eric Pascal, all up for trade, which the Wizards could try and get out of them in exchange for Bradley Beal. Who really knows? That's another alternative option that could potentially happen. But yeah, I do expect if Westbrook gets traded for like these players, then Bradley Beal is getting traded. Like, that's just, I think, pretty obvious if you ask me. And then again, they'll probably try and tank it out in the next year. And then they'll, of course, still have like some nice players like Dennis Schroeder and Talon Horton-Tucker, you know, to kind of make out the roster. But yeah, the Lakers, whatever they do, whether your thoughts and opinions are bad on Westbrook or not, let's just say you don't like Westbrook. As the viewer, surely, you know, you guys would have to admit that I guess Westbrook would still be a better option than, of course, those three players that I, you know, just mentioned, especially Dennis Schroeder and the disappointing season he had. No matter how much, if you don't like Westbrook, this dude's still going to be 10 times better than Dennis Schroeder, in my opinion, and can bring some maybe new life to this team. Like, if LeBron's having one of those days where he just doesn't want to be competitive, no matter how much you dislike Westbrook, I don't think he's a good player, which a lot of people just don't. Look, Westbrook, he's still going to bring in that competitive attitude, and he will do it every single night, really, no matter the situation. So he would be really nice for them. You know, Kyle Kuzma, I guess, is just like an added dude. He doesn't really add much to the Wizards. They've got tons of power forwards. They'll probably look to trade Bertans if they bring in Kyle Kuzma. You know, they'll probably look to make some moves like that. And then, of course, Schroeder and Talon Horton-Tucker are the main pieces of this trade. Both of those players can be incredibly nice for a team. It's just they haven't switched it on for the Lakers, and I don't expect Schroeder to really ever switch it on for them. So, yeah, that's not something I exactly see really coming, you know, in the near future here and there. But where does this put the Lakers and the Wizards? I think the Wizards become one of the worst teams in the East. You know, they weren't even good this season with Westbrook and Beal. Imagine if they didn't have either of them. That's just the reality. And I think this puts the Lakers back on to, like, competing. Like, if you can bring in Westbrook, you know, have him play with LeBron and AD, and, like, maybe bring in a defensive center who has heart, like a JaVale McGee, who used to play on this team and won a championship with them. They could look at Dwight Howard as well. And just keep bringing back these shooters like, you know, KCP. Wesley Matthews might, you know, come back. He didn't really get too many minutes towards the end of the season. Bring back Caruso, etc. Just get all these deals done, and the Lakers should be fine. Like, they should legitimately be title contenders yet again if everything goes according to how I said in this video. Which, hey, it probably won't. Teams will change their stance on things, and I do believe this trade will practically get done, though. I just have a feeling. We saw that Westbrook and LeBron also met up very recently, I believe, at a basketball game. Carmelo Anthony was also there, and that doesn't seem like a coincidence really at all. But of course, if you haven't already, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for latest NBA content and NBA news. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my iRoll/vlogging channel. And don't forget to comment your thoughts and opinions on all of this down below. Should the Lakers go out and get Westbrook? Will this trade be fair for both teams? Definitely let me know down below. Of course, don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already, which all of them will be linked in the description down below. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.